Hi, Yizhao Martins, licensed marriage and family therapist, couples therapist. Let's continue our conversation from last week on the case of Jerome and Rob. So we want to zoom in to look at different parts of each of them. So my goal of this video is for you to see that the different aspect of each of this partner in ADHD affected relationship. So maybe some of the aspect or parts you feel relate to that's similar to yours, some might feel a little bit different. So I wonder if there's any part that you can relate to. So if you are in an ADHD affected relationship, you don't feel as lonely. So let's take a look. So the example we gave from last week is Jerome is very frustrated and he feels that there's no room for him to be in this relationship. As for his emotions, he felt like he needs to tiptoe around Rob even when he gives a look that he was not even aware of when Rob loaded the dishwasher is not the way Jerome likes. So let's take a look at Rob first. I see that Rob may has a part of him that feels I'm not good enough. I will never be good enough. It doesn't matter what I try, what I do. And you may see that this is a part that could be developed early on in relationship with their caregivers. And oftentimes, people or either diagnosed or not diagnosed with ADHD that may be criticized and judged growing up for being slow, for not focused enough, or maybe like stupid or not motivated enough and lazy. And then they interjected those ideas, they took it on as who they are, that created a neural pathway that could be reinforced throughout their life, like in schools and at work, in personal relationships. So they have this what we call belief system that in there, basically the neural pathway saying I'm not good enough. And then we call it a part of themselves that kind of judges themselves, beating themselves down, right? Whatever version that you have, you may have a similar version of that. You may have a slightly different version of it. I'm curious to know what is your version of that I'm not good enough part. You can comment down below and let me know. And also let us know that Jerome is not alone and you're not alone in this. So when that part, Rob, is activated, they may be super hyper vigilant because, as I said, growing up, this is a cue when somebody giving a frown or a look or tone of voice or posture, or gesture, and or energetically make them feel that this neural pathway is getting activated right now. So they start to go down the rabbit hole and start to beat themselves down for not doing good enough. And there might be another part that show up saying, it doesn't matter how much I try, why try anyways? I will just get criticized and it's never measuring up anyways. So do you see that's kind of like a self-defeating part? What's the energy after you receive from this part criticism? You might likely feel hopeless and helpless in despair and kind of getting into depression. That's a depressive part. Why even try, right? And there might be another path going down this way saying, well, you can't make me. Who are you to judge and criticize me? I'm not going to do what you want me to do anyway because you don't like what I do anyway. I'm not doing that anymore. You can't make me. And that energy is more like a fight energy, and that's more like a defiant in this relationship with your partner. So we see I'm not good enough part, and then related to that, why try? Or you can make me. That's Rob. So what's going on with Jerome here? Let's see. This is getting excited, right? That's what I do when I'm at work working with couples. I see all the parts having relationship with each other in my mind's eye. It's fascinating. So Jerome may have a part that's very responsible growing up. Maybe they're the oldest one, or maybe they're the designated caregiver in the family, and they feel really responsible and they have a high standard and they want to get everything done. They're super capable. So well, when they are in that place and their partner is not measuring up, very likely they get frustrated, which is a very normal human emotion, right? When we want to get something done, we can't get there, we're just being blocked. It's very frustrating. So Jerome may have a part in saying, well, I feel sad, I feel bad for Rob for, feeling that way and feeling bad about him because of his ADHD. So I don't want to make them feel worse. I don't want to feel them uncomfortable by telling them that this standard is not met, my expectation is not met. So they don't say anything and they tiptoe around Rob, right? And Rob's parts. So, and that's its part that's avoidant, that's conflict avoidant, right? And that really easily distract themselves from this frustration they're feeling inside, which is energy for change. So that's a part, that tip around part. That's the peacemaker. And there could be another part that's feeling, well, all throughout my lifetime, I've been the one that care, give, and take, do things for other people. I'm so capable. What about me? What about my needs? And who is going to take care of me? And there's a vulnerable little child part that's feeling sad and feeling not seen. And that make it take on an air of more like a victim-y, um, wanting to attack the other person, but in a passive aggressive way, and saying, you never do this, it's always about you, nobody cares about me. And then next thing you know, they feel really depressed as well, right? So that's going down the depressive road. So there's the complaint, there's the depressed, and there also can be a part that start to criticize, getting the fighting energy in, say, hey, it's not fair, I've been the one that's shouldering all this burden all these years in our relationship. It's time for you to stand up and do something. Otherwise, leaving. Let's start to give ultimatums. So that is the fighting part. That's the part want to advocate for their own interest and wanted to, I see, working towards the goal of a more equal relationship, and maybe they can complement each other and accommodate each other and work better in the relationship. So is there any of those parts that you can relate to? Rob's part, Jerome's part, there's a lot of fighting energy and it can be wanting to run away, it doesn't want to face the conflict, could be compliant, depressive. Does any of those that feels resonating to you? And tell me your version of your parts in relationships. Is it can be you're the more ADHD partner, it could be you the one that's not identifying as the more ADHD partner. It doesn't matter. We all have parts as human beings, different aspect of us, and sometimes they are having internal fights. Sometimes the two partners' fights are fighting with each other, crossfire, and I see that all the time. How exciting that for me, right? So next week I will start a new series, and that will be a surprise for you. See you next week, my friends. Bye.